January 1912. The Ottoman Empire is weakening. Europe is watching, and a new political movement is beginning to take shape in the Balkans. In this atmosphere, the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs receives an important report. An interview given in Constantinople by Ismail Kemal Bey, the man who, later that same year, would lead Albania to independence. And now, the document begins. In an interview that a reporter of the newspaper Proudos of Constantinople had with Ismail Kemal Bey, the latter is said to have stated, "I observe that the situation is deplorable. When I was in Europe, I believed that the government was concerned exclusively with the war. Unfortunately, I was mistaken." Kemal Bey continues, "The question of Tripolitania does not end with the loss of that province alone. It extends to the consequences of such a loss, which will be disastrous. The principle of the integrity of the empire will lose all prestige. The Eastern question will be raised again, and the Ottoman fatherland will become prey to the strong." He adds with indignation, "I am outraged by the conduct of the government and of its followers, who take care of nothing and exhaust their activity in prolonging an internal situation which is precisely the cause of the present state of things." The report then notes that the conversation turned to the newly formed political group known as the Liberal Entente. Kemal Bey recognized the patriotism of its founders and approved much of their program. He stated, "I am convinced that Turkey can live only by satisfying the rightful desires of the various nationalities of the empire and by abandoning nationalist policies, as the constitution itself demands." And he sharply criticized the ruling elite. The present governors have had the naive idea that the mere proclamation of the constitution was enough to save the state, and that applying it was of secondary importance. But they deceive themselves. In the new regime, all have contributed, and all must benefit. We Albanians will not follow them on this road which leads the constitution and the empire to the grave. The report continues. As to the rumors spread about a new movement in Albania, Kemal Bey categorically denied them. He declared that the Albanians will not become instruments of foreign states. Their national interest is to live and collaborate with the other nationalities in order to make the Ottoman Empire strong and great upon the indispensable basis of justice and equality. And he concluded, "The Albanians are faithful Ottoman subjects. They ardently desire the development of the empire, but they are not so naive as to allow themselves to be misled by the present governors, whose policy is proving disastrous for all." The final note of the report reads, "Ismail Kemal Bey, who spent some time in Sofia and recently moved to Constantinople, is preparing, as I learn, to go to Greece, probably to Corfu, where some members of his family are located." The document ends with the signature A. Carlotti, Italian diplomatic officer. At this moment in history, the Ottoman Empire is fighting a losing war in Libya. Nationalist tensions are rising across the Balkans, and the Albanian question is becoming increasingly urgent. Ismail Kemal Bey's words, preserved in this Italian diplomatic report, reveal a man who clearly understood the collapse of the old order and the need for a new political direction. Within months, his journey from Constantinople to Greece would lead him to Vlora, where he would raise a new flag and proclaim the independence of Albania.